Louisiana Senator John Kennedy's on the Judiciary Committee, Senate side. Sir, how you doing? And good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
Okay, I mean, the Michael Cohen thing exposed a lot of their strategy. Where do you think this goes, Senator?
You know, I just listened to Chairman, the Judiciary Chairman's comment that you played, Bill. You know, I have great respect for the chairman, but nobody believes what he just said. You know, some of my House Democratic colleagues, I think, are probably in good faith, but a lot of them aren't. You know, this is all about tearing the president down. I'm not saying the Republicans wouldn't do the same thing if the shoe were on the other foot, but this is all part of the reason that the American people don't trust Congress and don't trust Washington. Look, the President of the United States was elected fairly by the American people. Some people were angry about it. They're still angry about it. Instead of putting aside their anger and letting us try to solve some problems, they just want to play politics with the next election. I mean, this is America. You can do that. I mean, if you're a congressman or a senator, but don't believe that the American people are fooled, whether they agree or disagree with it. I think most people understand this is all about the 2020 election. I mean, you take Mr. Cohen, for example. Mr. Cohen didn't say anything, I suspect, that he hasn't already given to the U.S. Attorney and the special counsel. And Mr. Cohen has a checkered past, and he's a little imbalanced, you know. I'm not saying he's on the pipe crazy, but he's just not balanced. He's bitter.
You have some amazingly unique lines. Let me play Senator Warner. He was on Meet the Press. Nadler was on ABC. Warner was on NBC yesterday. Watch.
I think there is enormous amounts of evidence. What you do with that evidence, where it leads, I'm reserving my judgment. There's no one that could factually say there's not plenty of evidence of collaboration or communications between Trump Organization and Russians.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, prove it. Adam Schiff on the House side says there is direct knowledge of collusion. Is there?
Well, you know, Senator Warner is entitled to his opinion. I just don't see it. Now, if there is proof beyond a reasonable doubt, or it may be even by a preponderance of the evidence, I'm assuming that the Southern District of New York, the U.S. Attorney there, Mr. Mueller, will bring an indictment. Now, they haven't. That doesn't mean you can't have an opinion. I think Mark would prefer that President Trump not be president and that he not get reelected 2 years from now. This is America. He's entitled to believe that. But all this stuff is not fact-finding. It's about politics.
I apologize for pushing over you here.
That's okay.
Do you believe they push impeachment to their advantage, or is the smarter play to push an agenda toward 2020? How are they going to fit that balance?
I think that there's some of my Democratic colleagues that are in good faith. There's some. This is all just plain politics. I think that if they think they could impeach the president and get away with it politically, knowing that he wouldn't be impeached, they would just basically bring articles of impeachment and he wouldn't be convicted, they would do it. If they think it'll hurt him, it will hurt them politically, they won't. It's a political calculation. Now, I don't want to paint with too broad of a brush. I'm not saying all of my Democratic colleagues are in bad faith. I'm just saying some of them are doing this for purely political reasons. And if they think the American people are fooled, they're really underestimating the American people. That's the problem with Washington, D.C. There are too many people up here on both sides of the aisle that think they're smarter and more virtuous than the American people, and that they can fool the American people, and they can't.
You're not one of them, are you?
No, I try not to be.
I get it. Yeah, listen, I'm looking at House Intel Committee, all right? They're looking at Russian interference. House Oversight Reform Committee, Elijah Cummings, we saw that last week. House Judiciary Committee, Jerry Nadler, who we just heard from. House Ways and Means Committee, Richard Neal, eventually going to look at Trump's tax returns, apparently, if you get them. House Financial Service Committee, that's Maxine Waters. House Foreign Affairs Committee, Elliot Engel, working with Adam Schiff on that. So the point in all of this is they have a lot going on from a lot of different angles. And if they want, they can harass this White House right up to and through the election. Last word on all that.
And I think they probably will, but they're not fooling most Americans. Even the Americans on the left who agree with them They don't believe this is about fact-finding. They believe this is political harassment. I'm not saying they don't have the right, Bill. They do. But just because it's right doesn't mean it's in the best interest of our country.
I got you. So we'll put the pipe down, okay, in your words. Thank you, sir, for coming on today.